Known as the river people. We used to have the Gila River that ran through here and the Salt River. As if you know the Phoenix area, most of the water has been dammed up. Almost all of it has been dammed up. And about 100 years ago, the presidents of the United States at that time decided to dam up the Gila River. And within that time, over a 10-year period, 400 of them had passed away because they didn't realize the connection that we had to water. And I hold this water, and I thank Cleve Benally for bringing it from the springs up in Sedona area, where the traditional, the Dene people and the Yavapai Apache live now. This water, and we're going to talk about Fukushima, and we're going to talk about the radiation and the destruction that's happening on Mother Earth. All of this is not going to last. All of it is not going to last. And it's foolish to think that the way that we're living is somehow going to help us survive. In this society today, we only think of what's going to happen in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. And we look at the economy, and that's how we base our strength and our growth. This country does that. The O'odham have lived here for so many generations, for thousands of generations. Our ancestors, the O'odham, built these buildings that you see close around here. In fact, these canals that the SRP uses today were built by the O'odham, the O'odham relatives. So how you get your water through here is based on what we engineered. I was asked to come here to speak on behalf of the O'odham Humichka, which is the traditional council. And very rarely do you see our traditional people outside of our territory, meaning in the Phoenix area. It's too crowded, there's too much pollution, there's too much waste. And today, we see what's happening. There's many conflicting stories about how far that waste that came out of Fukushima is going to travel. There's a lot of confusion out there. The government will say, well, don't worry about it. Other scientists say it's going to impact us. The reality is that we know, and some of our relatives that are Dene will speak about this, about the waste that is still in Navajo Nation. That is a human rights violation. When you slowly kill the people by taking what's supposed to be left in the ground, and you slowly kill that society, that is called genocide. Whether it happens slowly or quickly. And that's what's happened to our land. That's what's happening to our water. They're poisoning our water. They're poisoning our land. And it's our responsibility. What can we do differently in the way that we're living? How much waste are we putting out? How much waste are we putting out as Native people or as people who are concerned with Mother Earth? You have to ask yourself that question. So today, the challenge is that we can stand here with the signs, but when we go home, what are we going to do differently? How are we going to recycle? How are we going to reduce our footprint on Mother Earth? How are we going to do that? You can see around you, there's so much development here. Where are they getting this energy? Where are they getting this energy? And who still suffers? The Navajo Nation should be financially well off, but they're still struggling in poverty. They're being removed from lands. These cleanups have never happened. The super fund that's out there, it's taking forever for somebody just to go clean up the mess. But where are they going to put it? Are they going to take it to another Navajo or another Indian land to hide it in the ground and try to bury it? so that it seeps into our aquifers, into our streams, into our runoffs? So there's many questions that we have to ask ourselves. What are we doing differently? And as part of all of them that live here, that have lived here for generations and generations, we have, just because you don't see us, every time you look at a cactus, you say, there's an autumn. There's an autumn. Someone, we're related to that Hashan, that cactus. That's how we display ourselves, that we are still here. We have not left. We still have concerns for our earth. We have concerns for our water. One day our water will return. And it may not happen in my lifetime or these young children's lifetime, but it will happen, because you can't keep taking from the earth. You can't keep destroying it. So on behalf of the Otha people and the nation that lives here, you're surrounded. The Onkakmur, Salt River, Akmur, Gila River. Many of our Indian people that come here, they don't even know that there's native people that live there. The people that live here, all they hear is casinos. That's all they hear. But don't forget, there are all of them that live there and still want to take care of this earth. They still want our water to flow. They want you to live better. They want all of us. We want a better life for these children. So I thank you for coming. And I thank you for the struggle that you bring attention. There may be only, 30 of us here, 25 of us here. Doesn't matter. As long as you're here, as long as you stand your ground and say, no more. No more nukes. No more fighting. No more development. No more extraction. We have to look at things differently. Where do we get our energy? From up north. And it's coming out of the ground. We have to reduce our consumption. Thank you very much.